The first time I walked into the convention hall at a presidential nominating convention was in 1988 when the Democrats were nominating Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis to run against the then Vice President of the United States, George H.W. Bush. And the very first voice I heard in that convention hall in the middle of her speech when I entered was Texas State Treasurer Ann Richards.
Poor George. He can't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth.
Ann Richards was then the most prominent woman in American politics. She went on to serve as governor of Texas and was defeated in her reelection campaign as governor in 1994 by the first-time candidate for office named George W. Bush. Here she is with her then 38-year-old daughter, Cecile, after that reelection campaign.
Were you worried about her? Was I worried about her? I mean, I guess, you know, she's been through it all. Worry about her is not a term I would use.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
No.
Cecile Richards went on to serve as the president of Planned Parenthood and became a frequent guest on this program, including March 5th, 2020, on the night Elizabeth Warren was the last woman to drop out of the campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination. Joining Cecile on the program that night was her daughter, Lily, who worked on Kamala Harris's presidential campaign that year.
Cecile, your mother was that kind of inspiration, and Elizabeth Warren is one of this generation's inspirations like that. The message, I hope, is getting through that that's what girls do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, and Elizabeth said it herself tonight, I think all the women who have run for president have touched literally thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of women in this country. And I do I love thinking about this tonight because I thought about, you know, my mom, Lily's grandmother, Ann Richards, who there are now women in the legislature in the state of Texas. We have the first women in Congress that are Latina from the state of Texas. There's a slew of women now in office in Texas, and that is how change happens. I think we all wish that change would happen faster, but the most important thing is what Ann Richards believed, what Elizabeth Warren said tonight, which is you can't give up hope.
In 2023, Cecile Richards was diagnosed with glioblastoma, the same aggressive, fatal brain cancer that took President Biden's son, Beau. I last saw Cecile Richards at a small group dinner in New Orleans last March when she was as cheerful and passionate as ever without showing the slightest hint of what she was suffering. Yesterday, Cecile Richards' family released this announcement. This morning, our beloved Cecile passed away at home, surrounded by her family and her ever-loyal dog, Ollie. Our hearts are broken today, but no words can do justice to the joy she brought to our lives. We are grateful to the doctors and healthcare workers who provided her excellent care, and the friends, family, and well-wishers who have been by her side during this challenging time. If you'd like to celebrate Cecile today, we invite you to put on some New Orleans jazz, gather with friends and family over a good meal, and remember something she said a lot over the last year. It's not hard to imagine future generations one day asking, when there was so much at stake for our country, what did you do? The only acceptable answer is everything we could. Kirk, Lily, Hannah, and Daniel. Cecile Richards was 67 years old. President Biden, who awarded Cecile Richards the Presidential Medal of Freedom in November, said, "Jill and I are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Cecile Richards. Cecile fearlessly led us forward to be the America we say we are, carrying her mom's torch for justice. She championed some of our nation's most important civil rights causes. She fought for the dignity of workers, defended and advanced women's reproductive rights and equality, and mobilized our fellow Americans to exercise their power to vote. She was a leader of utmost character, and I know that her legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. Jill and I are sending our love and strength to her husband, Kirk, her children, Daniel, Hannah, and Lily, her grandson, Teddy, and the entire Richards family." In August of last year, Cecile Richards followed in her mother's footsteps when she stepped up to the microphone at the Democratic National Convention.
These last few weeks have been a celebration of women, from cheering on Team USA to supporting Kamala Harris for president. As my mother, Governor Ann Richards, would say, "I hear America singing." When women are free to make their own decisions about their lives and to follow our dreams, we are unstoppable.